Good morning, everyone. Welcome to The Difference, our first 9 a.m. Friday show. Getting started a little bit late. We had a few technical difficulties, which is usual starting a new show. We're all learning how to get all these things connected. I'm excited today to talk about a new show that we have called The Financial Point. This goes right along with our theme of making the difference and finding people that are making the difference, whether it's for business owners, entrepreneurs, whatever it may be, but people that are really making the difference for the consumer and the communities. And the show that we're going to be starting each Friday at 9 is going to be hosted by Dane Wilson. He is the founder of Financial Point. What we're going to talk about today is what inspired him to do that. What is the Financial Point? What inspired him to do it? What he's created and what he intends this to do, and then also how he's going to use the show to help people understand how to navigate the Financial Point and reach their financial goals. So I'm going to go ahead and bring him in now. Let me make sure I've got everything set the way I need to. Here we go. Here's Dane Wilson. Good morning, Dane. Welcome to The Difference, and welcome to your show, The Financial Point.
I'm excited.
I don't know if I should say this or not. Well, those are fun. I try to make it that way. We want to create as much enthusiasm for everybody as we can. That's another way to make the difference, right? For just in full disclosure, for those watching that may not know, the similarities in our last name, there's a reason for that. Dane is my son. I'm a very, very proud dad. And so it's really exciting for me to be able to have him and host him on these shows. And I'm really excited about what he's bringing. So let's talk about that a little bit. First of all, let's start with you. Tell everybody who you are, and give us a little history on how you got from college to where you are now.
So just kind of starting out, you owned a credit repair business for a long time. And so I got to be around that. You allowed me basically, as a nice way of giving me money and making me felt like I was working for it. But, learned a lot about credit, mortgage from you, following you around. And what really got me interested in what credit repair and what you do is just the people that you are helping, the lives that you are changing at a young age, not knowing a lot about credit or finance or anything like that specifically, but just the feeling that I got watching all the people that you help. Like I realized at a young age that what you were doing was making a difference in people's lives. And it was happening so often that I never really saw you had a bad work day, never have a day that felt like what you heard some people, talk about their job, complain about Mondays, that sort of thing. I never really saw you have that. So as somebody who was in college trying to figure out my life and what I wanted to do, that really kind of had my attention. It seemed like you had a lot of fun and, getting those phone calls and helping people, that really grabbed me, at a young age. I remember so many specific phone calls and situations and people and everything. And then later, as I started to work in the credit repair industry, I just got obsessed with learning about credit. I think what really happened was I was so afraid that I wouldn't have all of the answers to help our clients. And it just made me, it motivated me to read every book, go to every seminar, do anything and everything I could to make sure I had, I had a way to help our clients, with whatever they needed. And so that's kind of what has led me here today. For the past 5 years, I've run our credit repair company, Lender's Choice Credit Solutions. And so we help people improve their credit if they're wanting to buy a house or a car, or whether they're wanting to, improve their student loan situation. We put together plans and we helped with that. And so we just recently started another business that we help people set up their utilities when they move, or if they're trying to get a better deal on electricity, water, gas, if they're hiring movers, we do all the work and reaching out to all the different companies just to make sure that our clients are not overpaying for services. And so that kind of fits right in line with, everything that you and I have done for a long time now, which is just take care of our clients and really just find solutions to the problems that we see that they have.
Absolutely. So let's talk about that now. Let's talk about the financial point. I know that it's scrolling around across the bottom, the go-to place to get the tools and resources and education you need to improve your finances. Let's describe that briefly, Dane, what the financial point is, and then let's talk about the inspiration for you creating that.
Right. So the financial point it's a program that it's going to incorporate a lot of different things, and it incorporates a lot of different things from the website. The website you can go to if you need tips, strategies, and resources on budgeting and savings. So I have the top books that I recommend. As you know, I read a lot of books. I actually have an order of 13 books that are coming today that are going to be delivered that I'm so excited about. They're all personal finance books. And so this site is going to have, the apps that I recommend that you can download on your phone to help with budgeting and savings, the books that I recommend, why, there's so much out there. And that's really what it comes down to. And I'll give the high level of the program, and then I'll talk about specifics. But anywhere from budgeting to savings, credit, taxes, insurance, real estate, mortgage, and investing. So those are the subjects. You and I have helped so many people become homeowners, and we know the steps that one would go through to get to that ultimate goal of homeownership. We know why homeownership is so important for a family, for an individual. And we know that at a starting point, straight out of college, or whether you're a renter wanting to become a buyer, we know there's so many little things that put you in a position to be able to get there. And so I wanted to create a program that could take somebody at whatever step you are along the way, and you can jump right in and start making your way toward the ultimate goal of homeownership, and then investing past, just your, investing in your home, or the investment that your home is for you. And so there's going to be a back-end system that you can enroll in different classes. You can do online classes on these subjects. You can look at the book options that we have. You can request consultations with our team on any of those subjects. And that is the main thing that I wanted to create, was a website and a platform that could help people on these subjects and go through all the mass information out there on the subject and simplify it down so that somebody can go to it and not like, is Dave Ramsey right? Is Dane right? Is Lyndon right? Is my loan officer right? My financial advisor right? There's so much information, so many different strategies. We just need to simplify it and say, these are the steps to take to get there the quickest. And so your idea is using this platform to more. And so what we're going to do here is we're going to have experts on these subjects. I'm going to bring in loan officers to talk about the different loan programs, from down payment assistance to, the different types of loans, conventional, FHA. I'm going to bring in real estate agents to talk about what they would recommend and, the top tips for a first-time home buyer. I'm going to bring in accountants, financial advisors, real estate investors, everybody, every professional that is an expert in the fields that we all search for this information on. I'm going to bring people in that do this all day, every day, so that you and I can get the information that we want our clients to have.
That's good stuff. Of course, none of this surprises me. You and I have had these conversations for years, and I want to back up. I want to take a minute and and hit reverse, because one of the things I think that is important for the listeners to understand why the financial point, in my opinion, is going to be so valuable to so many people, and why this show is going to be so valuable to so many people, is that in doing credit repair with your experience and with mine, would you agree with me, Dane, that there is a certain amount of financial illiteracy out there that it is sometimes generational because we're not taught it in schools. If our parents didn't know, if our parents' parents didn't know, if our, it's just, it perpetuates itself, unfortunately. And
Yeah, I agree.
There are places that people can go, but sometimes I think it's a daunting task to try to find that out. And I think what you're doing with Financial Point is you're trying to address that, right? You're trying to provide a source that can educate those that want to be educated, but it also can lead and help those that may not want to dig that deep into learning everything, but they want to have good advice. Did I kind of describe that in a way that fits what you're looking at?
Yeah, I agree with you 100%. And I don't think, especially with credit, I don't think saying financial or financially illiterate is like a negative thing that anybody should be ashamed of if they don't understand it, because you and I both know that there's not a lot of good information on credit available. There's a lot of people giving advice. There is a lot of conflicting advice, which I think just causes people to sort of pause because you've seen both sides of the coin be recommended, and so you're not sure which one actually makes sense. And so the most valuable education advice you can get isn't just like you Google it, the
Right.
stuff that I'm going to be talking about isn't something that you just can go Google and get in 5 minutes. There's going to be stuff that we talk about where it is a book that, I've read, or apps, and things that, but my job is to sort through the options and simplify it and put together a plan so that you don't have to think and wonder and do all that extra work yourself. You can just take action. I've taken all of the research out of it. But yeah, no, I agree with you 100%, but I don't think it's a bad thing. I think that it's
no, I didn't mean it as
available.
a negative at all. Yeah. It's not available, and it's just kind of it's been passed down generation to generation, and we see that. I mean, we start in credit repair. We saw the pattern. We saw why a lot of this was happening, and people sometimes with credit challenges are given the stigma that's negative, and in a lot of cases, sometimes it's because they got where they got because they just didn't understand how to do it any differently. And that's what I've noticed with your program before you started Financial Point, is you were trying to educate the people to help make sure they didn't return to where they ended up, because it's a trap. And once you get there, if you don't have someone to help you out, you can make a lot, like you said, if you're just Googling all your answers, you're going to get answers, but they may not be accurate answers. So putting the Financial Point together, and what I like about it is the way that you're breaking it down into the different levels based on what I may want for myself. If I want to get deep into something, you're going to have the resources there to allow me to dig as deep and educate myself as deeply as I want to go. If I'm just looking for advice, if I'm just looking for maybe a tip or a trick, then that's going to be there as well. Am I accurately describing that, Dane?
Exactly. I want to have all of the above, from the education, the tips, tricks. We do free consultations on all these subjects. And, again, some of the things that I'm most excited about are, the different apps that, from investing apps. I'm going to review them. I'm going to, on these videos, I'm going to screen share my online brokerage accounts, what I invest in, how it's done, why I'm investing in it. I'm going to talk about my personal experience with real estate, my first house, the house I bought now. And just so that, all I can do is talk about my own experience between helping others and then what I've personally done. And, so no matter what the subject or what you're looking for within the subject, I want to have that all in one place. Okay.
So let's switch gears just a little bit now and talk a little bit about the Financial Point, but in a different way. The Financial Point, give me some if for someone that may not still understand, and I think you've done a great job of explaining it, but give something, a similar example to the Financial Point. I know that you have seen a lot of models out there, and you have studied those models, and you wanted to create something that took all the good things of those models, but then maybe added some things or filled in some gaps that maybe they weren't addressing. So let's talk about that a little bit. What share some other things that are similar to the Financial Point.
Yeah. So two of my favorite sites that I've gone to for years is nerdwallet.com and thebalance.com. And so these are exactly along the lines of what I've done with the Financial Point, and they've been around for a while. They're big companies that you go to a website called The Balance, and if you need a credit card, they're going to give you every type of credit card. They're going to review them, why this one's good, the pros and the cons. That's always been big for me, because not only do I want to know, what I'm getting myself into before I apply, but I always get asked, what credit cards do I recommend? So for me to be able to go to a site like that and based on somebody's specific needs go, well, this card, and this card fit what they're looking for. This one's got this many good reviews. This one doesn't have an annual fee, and so forth. That has been a huge resource for me. So they have topics like credit cards, credit, getting out of debt, mortgage, real estate, and investing, a lot of the same topics that I'm going to discuss, but there's several things that I wanted to do different. One is I wanted mine to be more centered around my audience, which is people who want to become homeowners. And so I leave out a lot of stuff that just doesn't go down that path. And also, no offense, but you and I will both agree on this. The people that are writing a lot of articles for sites like that are truly not credit experts. They're not mortgage experts, and so some of the advice that I see is kind of like what I said earlier about Googling credit advice. I don't think that some of the advice that's given is always the best possible advice. It's situational. It may be decent advice for one person. It may not be. And that's why my plan is to bring on the show professionals in each of these areas to make sure that the expert advice is getting shared, not what I Googled and then recreated to have more content on the site. So my site is more centered around the process of becoming a homeowner. I do a lot of first-time homebuyer seminars. And so we have credit there, we have mortgage there, we have real estate. Sometimes we'll have a financial advisor. And so I thought of how can I create a first-time homebuyer seminar in a box for somebody who doesn't want to spend their Saturday driving all the way out to a place, for an hour or two, but they still want that information. How can I give them that in one place so that they get the information that they need, but not a lot of other information? Because what I've seen with people with NerdWallet and The Balance is it's just information overload. You go to the site and there's a lot of good stuff, but there's just a lot of stuff going on. And so I think that it can sort of be overwhelming. And so my site is to, again, just to filter through a lot of that and give people what they actually need.
That's awesome. Now let's talk about the show. Everybody knows now kind of what the Financial Point website is about. I do want to pop up before we go to the show. I'm going to pop this up real quick, Dane. I want to show everybody. You're still working a little bit on the website. I think I don't want to speak, but this is your social media page, your Facebook page. There is and we want to make sure everybody knows this. There's a message button. So if you've got some questions, you can go in there and you can send a message to the people at Financial Point and start that conversation that's going to help each person get to the right place on Financial Point that they need to be. Got a website coming up. We've been scrolling that. We're going to continue to do that. You have Instagram, you have a YouTube channel. All of these, your Facebook and your YouTube channel, that's where a lot of the shows are going to come. So we've talked about the site. Okay. We've talked about the different things, budgeting and credit and home buying and all the different things that involve financial transactions and how to gain that edge. Let's talk now about the show. Let's talk about why you want to do this show in conjunction with what you're offering through the Financial Point.
So the reason is because I get asked questions all the time that are, outside of my expertise. Now, I've been doing this for a while now, so I know a lot about what a loan officer, how a loan officer would answer a question, how an attorney would answer a certain question, a real estate agent. But I want to bring on the experts in the fields, and I want to bring the questions that this audience has. I want to bring those answers to them from the people they need to get them from. I don't want, that person who might feel uncomfortable going to sit down with a loan officer. I don't want them to miss out on the opportunity of getting all the value that a good loan officer can add in helping somebody prepare to become a homeowner. Same thing with an accountant. I don't want somebody who's doing their own taxes on TurboTax and they think that hiring a good accountant is going to cost a fortune. I don't want them to miss out on the opportunity to get all the advice and to learn the benefits of using a professional in any of these industries, what a professional looks like, what value they can add, because
Right.
I've seen it firsthand and I know what it can do. And so I want to spend time on the subjects that I help people with. I want to be able to push this information out to a bigger group of people, because I do consultations all day long and I can only do so many. And so I want to share stories, specific examples of ways that we've helped, so that people can relate that to their own situation and move forward. It scares me to death, and I could not sleep at night thinking about somebody making decisions that's going to cost them money or keep them from becoming a homeowner and realizing that dream for their family just by not getting the information that they needed to get, and there's so many things, and the same examples I could give in the credit world of things that I'm desperately trying to get to as many people as possible, because we see people, paying off collections, closing credit cards, doing things all the time that are hurting them. And, this show hopefully will rescue a lot of people from those sort of decisions. But also, some people are so close, they just need that little bit of advice and it'll click. They're right there. They're so close. And, I talk to a lot of people that are discouraged. They don't know what to do, what not to do. They've hovered just around qualifying for so long. And I just want to make sure that I have an opportunity to share the information that they need.
Awesome. I think one thing that you just mentioned, Dane, and I think is the viewers and listeners are going to find is probably one of the greatest values you're going to have. And I'm sure you've thought of it. Maybe you haven't. But bringing on those experts, it's going to teach people that are watching these shows. It's going to teach them what type of person to hire. It's going to teach them the things that they need to know to hire the right person, rather than just hiring my best friend's buddy. Right. We all want to save money. We all want to, help our friends and everything out like that. But, this is this is something where we need to understand the qualities in a professional that makes it worth us hiring that particular professional and what they're going to say. We do have a comment. Really excited about this. Carrie Cook. Hey, Carrie, how you doing? Good to see you. Carrie was on a show yesterday as a guest, and so I'm happy to have her watching today. And so Carrie knows our good friend Lacey, Dane. I don't know if you know that or not.
I know Carrie.
Carrie. Okay. Oh, well, yeah. That's right. Yes. Okay. So happy to thank you for commenting, Carrie. So, all right, Dane, we don't have a lot of time left, so we need to get to this. Where to go? How do people get involved in the Financial Point? Where do they go to start finding the information? Where do they go to get plugged in, to connected? So we're going to start here. We've got your website. I'm going to scroll that at the bottom, thefinancialpoint.com. So they can go there. What are they going to find when they get there?
So thefinancialpoint.com, we have a live site right now. The new updated one is any day now going to launch, and it's going to be a big difference than what you see when you go there right now. We have worked literally for years on this. There's a lot of bells and whistles, mortgage calculators, different things that, take time. And, I've had 3 or 4 different developers working on this. And so the website is something that I'm so excited to launch within the next week. But when you get to the website, it's just you're gonna have your different categories. And that's where, again, based on your specific situation, you can jump right in. So if you're going there to learn about credit, if you're going there to look for, well, do I use Credit Karma? Do I use my FICO? You're going to get the answer to that. If you want to know what credit card you need to build credit, you're going to get the answer to that. anywhere along the way. If you want a recommendation on a professional realtor, mortgage person, accountant, attorney, anything that you need, you're going to have the answers there. Lots of free education, recommendations on books and apps, and there's contact forms to schedule free consultations, which is the most important part, because you have to understand that every situation's different, and you want a customized game plan based on your situation. What I'm going to make sure is that you don't have to go spend $1,000 to talk to an attorney, or, that I'm going to make sure that you get with the right person, and I'm going to make sure that you're taken care of because you came through us on not getting charged for anything like that. And so that's another, added value that hopefully some of my partnerships aren't watching, but that's something that I fight hard for my clients, is making sure that they, get things because of, following us that they couldn't otherwise get,
right.
discounts and advantages in that way.
Right. All right. So the next one, I'm going to pop that up now. That's going to scroll. And then I'm also going to put you up on the screen with your Facebook page. So there's the Financial Point Facebook page. Talk a little bit about it. Obviously, I talked before about the send message button. So anybody that's, into Facebook, and that's another way to contact you. Talk a little bit about it.
Yeah, so the Facebook page is just going to be snippets of everything that we're doing on this show, on the YouTube channel, and then daily, I will be writing articles, and have been for a long time now, on the website, that are going to go on the Financial Point. And so I see the Financial Point as a collection, or the milestones that one would go down, but each individual topic is going to be things that, you can go to the Financial Point, and, your credit may be good, but then we might have an article on the top 15 things when you're listing your house to sell it, or the top 10 things a first-time home buyer needs to think about. And so if you just check back in daily with the Financial Point Facebook page, we're going to be posting articles and videos on specific topics: why Credit Karma is or isn't accurate, what's the best credit cards to get if you want to build credit or cash back, investment accounts like Acorns, what we think about sites like that. So if you check back daily, it's going to have tips and resources, just to help you along. And so one thing that I love to do is recommend books, and I'll be doing a lot of that too. I read books all the time. I give them away, and then I share. I'm kind of your Spark Notes version, to get what you need to know out of as many books as possible.
Right. And don't forget, if you're watching, that you can go in here and hit the notification button so that you are notified when there's some changes or updates, or different types of things that may occur. The live videos, you're going to be notified of that. As we can see over on the on one side, our video is actually playing on there right now. So that's really cool. All right. So next one is Instagram. Let's talk about Instagram real quick, and what we've got going, what you got going there.
Yeah. So everybody digests information differently. One of the coolest things I see that I love are infographics that give you that high level subject, and then break it down for you in easy to understand, ways of looking at things. So whether it's investing, whether it's credit, and it's breaking down how scores are calculated, or where to keep your credit card balances. So I want to use Instagram as a tool for those who just like to visually see whatever it is they're looking for, whether it's tax, credit, investing information, in a visual way, because that will help them sort of understand it better. So we'll be using infographics, things like that, to take a subject and break it down, so that it's easy to understand.
So it's like the book with pictures, right? That for those that
exactly.
don't want to read that much, they get right. So
exactly.
All right, and then we've got your YouTube channel. Obviously, everybody knows about YouTube. That's where you're going to have a lot of your educational, informational videos, along with the live shows that we're doing as well. So talk a little bit about that, and then we're about out of time, so we're going to close it out.
Yeah. So this channel is going to be about the stories, about sharing, in long form advice, and in what people need to know. Instagram is about breaking down each of those subjects visually. And then my YouTube channel will be to explain those subjects. And so if you go to YouTube and you see an infographic explaining a certain subject and you want to hear the commentary on why this is the case or give a real world example to it, then that's what YouTube will be. So if you see something like that and you have questions, you'll get a better explanation specifically on that subject.
Awesome. Well, Dane, I'm excited to help you with your show. I'm excited about the Financial Point. Being in that industry for so long, I realize that the educational part is the one component. It's the component that will make the difference. And I always throw that cheesy line in there because that's what we're here for. But it's going to make the difference. So to our listeners and to our viewers out there, if you're looking at hitting another level with your finances, I encourage you to follow the Financial Point. Get involved in it. You can get involved as deeply or as not as you want. So we're going to be doing Dane's show each week on Friday at 9 o'clock. And Dane, do you have anything you'd like to say, everybody, before we start to close out?
Yeah, I just wanted to say thanks so much for allowing me to be on this. I think that this show is awesome and it's a big value for so many different reasons for the different shows that are on. I'm watching the show right now called Undercover Billionaire. And basically they take a billionaire and they put them out in a city that no one knows them. They change their appearance and everything. So they have no resources at all. And they have to try to build $1 million business with no resources, no money. Nobody knows who they are. The first thing that every one of them do is they go get connected with people who can help them. They go find the people that can get them to where they need to get. So they know that it's all about connections. And I just see that that's what you're doing with the show. I appreciate that you're putting all the people together that helps all of us benefit from it. And I hope to steal your idea on that for this show. I want to put all the right people together in one place, so that we can all benefit
Absolutely.
from that, because that is what, people who have made it and done well, that's what they've realized is it's other people bringing you and pulling you along that is really what makes it happen. It's so hard to do on your own, but when you have those people that have been there and done that and care and want to help, that's really what makes the difference.
Absolutely. Don't underestimate the value of your community and the community that you're building. So Dane, thanks a lot. Again, we're out of time. Great show. Great kickoff show here. We'll be back next Wednesday at 9 a.m. Dane's going to be hosting this on his own. I may be in the background chiming in every once in a while, but this is going to be his baby. And so I'm going to have my notepad and my pen out, and I'm going to be taking notes as we go along because there's a lot I want to know as well. So thanks for everybody for tuning in, and we will see you next Friday at 9 o'clock.